they go together so beautifully, right? They can't be without the other. It's like one thing that you were mentioning is how, you know, these things can get, like, if it's too much of one or the other, it can get ugly, right? It can become unhealthy, right? Because if you just go too masculine, right? Where it's just like everything's just material, right? That's when things start to become too mechanistic, and things can become destructive, because they don't come in with that, you know, because that feminine creative potential is also about what's possible, right? And what's possible is also full of beautiful ideals, right? And wisdom and all kinds of things also occupy in that space. And so if you're just materializing things that aren't guided by that element, it can get really bad, right? Or as we've talked about before, it's like you're not really creating things anymore. Everything's just derivative. Everything's just contrived, because the masculine's not really coming up with the new ideas, yeah. Right? Like it's just kind of like function. Like we can, like, let's make this thing work. And there's something so beautiful about like making this thing work, right? Where the feminine's like, hey, I've got this idea, and it's just like, okay, great, let's make that work. Let's make that something that we can put out and share and give, and people can understand it, or they can have an experience of it in some kind of a way. Let's do that, right? And that's the marriage of those things. And I think that's, you know, that's such an incredible thing. And again, it's never a situation of one is better than the other. It's like they're both so essential to each other. They're not in competition with one another.